Hey, this is Jeff with Raygun Girls back here with another one of these how do you do it kind of things. This time looking at the song My Destroyer, which is one of the singles off of Orphan, and I'm excited. This is one of my favorite songs. I really like it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Bacham. All right, so we got our tracks here. For this song, we've got the drums, which I've done the hack to so that I can change them as I wish. And for this one, I definitely needed to because, as you can hear with the song, the drums go along with the guitars. So the dent, 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 you can see here. So as I've said in the other video that I made, I used the auto drummer and then got it to become the piano roll so that I could edit it, and I moved the kick drum parts around. Tedious? Yes, but it gets me what I want. So with My Destroyer, I added in this keyboard. I messed around a little bit with the crossfade and the HP cutoff flanger to get the kind of sound I thought would work. And on most of the keyboards, I always put on a at least a high pass. Without it, for me, that makes a difference with the bass sound that I got. The way the bass mixes with the guitar. So you can hear how that starts to get muddy a little bit there. Right now I've got the high pass on, and then I'll turn it off. Also, since my song is actually guitar oriented, it's not that important for me to have all the subtleties of the synth, the keyboard. So for me, it's okay to drop that out, that low end out of that synth. Like as usual, depending on the song you're making, you might need that low end. So
I am a liar, I am a saint. I give you all of my inner hate.
So vocals. In the other video, we went over the drums, how to make that happen. We also went over the guitars, the way I do them. And I didn't go over the vocals. So vocals, I'm going to show you a little bit around the room. As you can see, behind me is open space. I've got the mic right here. Usually I'm standing up, so the mic is all the way up here. and got that empty room behind me. I've got this wall here and a wall on this side which you can't see right now. And behind the computer, behind the camera, I'll post some pictures up of it, is wall also. So the way I point it, it seems to get a nice reverberation off the wall. So I get a little reverb from the room, but I've also got some reverb added onto it. So using just the stock plugins, this is what I've got.
Queen, I tried to give you everything you need. I am a liar.
It really sucks as a singer to hear your voice isolated. But I'm doing this just for you. Okay, so I start off with a high pass filter. I'm going to turn off all of these and then turn them on as we go so you can hear the difference.
I've been the devil. I've been the queen.
So there you can hear what it sounds like in the room.
I tried to give you everything you need.
It's a little tough to hear, but you can hear some of the reverb in there. It's definitely low end. I have a low voice when I sing anyway, but you can hear that the reverb in this, the way that this room is set up and the way I have the mic up set up, causes the reverb in this room to accentuate the low end. So high pass, I add that on. Let's do this. Make it easier.
I've been the devil. I've been the queen. I tried to give you everything you need. I've been the devil. I've been the queen.
So already a huge change just with the high pass. For my voice, I've got the high pass here at 433 hertz. Next, I changed the EQing. EQ. I take off more of the low end.
I've been the devil. I've been the queen. I tried to give you everything you need. I've been the devil.
It's so subtle that I might be able to do without using the EQ. As you see with the sound wave, it barely goes down there anyway. But I don't know. I have it on there anyway. This plugin, the Ultra Channel, Eventide Ultra Channel, is a free one. Was a free one. I don't know. I got it 5-6 years ago. It was definitely free then, and I love it. It has so many possibilities, so many presets, that it's amazing. So yeah, I gotta load them and all that stuff. But I've got this one saved the way I want it for the vocal.
I've been the devil. I've been the queen.
And now on.
I tried to give you everything you need. I've been the devil. I've been the queen. I tried to give you everything you need. I've been the devil. I've been the queen.
So, as I said in the other video, I know nothing about engineering. I know nothing about all these buttons. I didn't go to school. I don't read manuals. Maybe because of my autism, I just can't deal with figuring it out. I've tried on occasion to try to read a manual and do a how-to kind of thing, and it just goes one ear out the other. So for me, it's a lot easier to just do and practice. So basically, it's another EQ here. You can use these knobs to move them, or highlighting those buttons, click and drag. What does all this other stuff do? I don't know, but sometimes I move it depending on the kind of vocal, and it makes it sound better. So that's where we're at with the Ultra channel, Eventide Ultra channel. Next, sometimes I use a delay. I try to use the stereo delay because I want to try, but I can never get it working exactly right. Well, for some Titanosaur stuff, I actually got it working because I'm trying to make it more psychedelic. So the stereo delay, the left and the right channel are different delays, so it could sound like it's bouncing off or going from one side to the other, and it needs to be in time with the music, and it needs to be in time with the vocal, and it's to do it without just constantly moving the knobs would require math, and I can't do that. So in this song, I don't need it, so I don't use it. I have the Platinum Verb, which is a stock plugin here in GarageBand, and these are the settings I have set up for my vocal. So first, without the verb on, and then I'll click the verb.
I've been the devil, I've been the queen. I tried to give you everything you need. I've been the devil, I've been the queen. I tried to give you everything you need.
So you hear the huge difference. Now, the other thing to remember when you're adding plugins to any of your instruments, your vocals or anything, is that there's the way it sounds on its own, and there's the way that it sounds when it's mixed with everything else.
I've been the devil, I've been the queen. I tried to give you everything you need. I am a liar.
So as you can see, it almost sounds as if there isn't any reverb, but if I were to take it off, the vocal would sit weird.
I've been the devil, I've been the queen. I tried to give you everything you need. I am a liar, I am a saint. I give you all of my inner hate.
It's really subtle, and you might have trouble hearing it over. This is a loud song. I mean, all the Raygun Girls songs are loud, so it might be difficult to hear it over what's going on in the rest. But if you can focus on the vocal, you can hear the difference. When you take the reverb off, it sort of brings the vocal forward a little bit and dry. And that's how I used to have the vocals, because I couldn't figure out how to set up the reverb. But it took a few years. And now I think I've got a sound that I like for my vocal. You might be able to hear it better here where there's fewer instruments.
Try to keep it all alive.
I don't know. Anyway, so that's the vocals. I'm using a Audio-Technica USB 2020 mic. Again, as with the guitars, no preamp, USB straight into the computer. And for the vocals, I actually have the level controller down to here. And that's probably because I don't use a preamp, so that I can have better control over the level going in. But it works for me. And I'm really not interested, after 10 years of trying to get to this point, of learning new stuff. I'm old, man. I just want to make music. No, I'm probably going to one day try Logic, since GarageBand is sort of a gateway drug to Logic. And it works a lot of the same ways. So I might do that someday. But that's pretty much it for the vocals here. And in the other video, I've already talked about the drums and the guitars. So if you have any questions, get in touch. Let me know. I love talking about stuff. All right. Thanks, and bye-bye.
Just see